We locked in. We look good. Yeah, let go. Action.
Oh, where have you been?
What do you mean?
It's been like 2 years, and nobody's seen or heard anything from you on social media.
I've been on a journey.
Care to elaborate?
I mean, I feel like it's important for every man to go on their own journey.
And why is that?
It gives them time and space to discover who they are and what they're created for.
Okay. And what did you discover about yourself?
I discovered my purpose.
Okay, purpose. Discovering your purpose is like pretty major, right?
I mean, most men go their entire lives never realizing what their true purpose is and why they're on this earth.
Oh, well, that's sad. That seems kind of depressing.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I touch a nerve?
Oh, no, you're fine. Typically, I'm a pretty optimistic person, but I have had days where I felt hopeless, so I guess I can relate.
Okay. So you went on this journey and you found your purpose. So what is it?
I'm here to help men increase their value.
Huh?
So, have you ever heard of the, high value man?
Yeah.
Okay, so my mission is to help every man get to that point, no matter where you're from, what you look like, how much money you have. Like, my goal is to get you moved from where you are to the category to be considered a high value man.
And you think that's possible?
100%. Like, if the man is coachable and willing to learn.
Okay, coach. All right, teacher.
You're funny.
Okay. Let me get this straight. You want to help every man become a high value man. Okay, I got it. But what about the men who already believe that their value is high enough? Can you help them?
Of course, you don't have to be sick to get better. There's always room to grow. And let's be real, let's keep it G. Like, if you're not growing, you're dying.
Okay, bars. All right. So I guess the most important question is, why do you believe this mission is important?
I believe this mission is so important for the sole reason that the value of the man in our culture has been declining for years now. There's several examples I can point to. The first example we can look at our households. Like 50% of our households are single parent led, and the majority of that 50% is women. Our kids are being raised solely by women. So that points to the fact of men don't see their value in the home and women don't see their value as much either. Because if both parties realize their value inside the home, they will fight to make sure that the men stay in the home. That's number one. I can point to example number two. Look at hip hop music. Used to be dominated by men. Now who dominates it? Women, right? So the third example is I was actually in a room with one of the sharks from Shark Tank, and he was saying his entire portfolio was comprised of women CEOs. He actually said 70% of his portfolio, companies in his portfolio, were women led.
Hold on, we're not going to speed past that. You said you was in the room with a shark. Who was it?
Mr. Wonderful, aka Kevin O'Leary.
Okay.
He doing this thing.
That's dope. Okay, so just so I can understand clearly, what exactly is a high value man? Like, how can someone become that?
So most people think a high value man, when they say it, they're thinking, oh, he got to be 6 feet, got to have 6 figures, and he got to have a 6-pack. That's what they say, right? The mark of the beast, 666. Now, those things do increase your value as a man, but it doesn't make you a high value man. Okay, so a high value man is summed up of 6 parts, right? The 6 parts are physical, his social status, his financial status, his emotional intelligence, his spiritual intelligence, and his actual mental intelligence, like his IQ, right? So those 6 components are the ingredients that are comprised of a high value man. So if you want to increase your value as a man, you have to increase each one of those metrics. And as those metrics increase, so does your value. So when we talk about value, think about real estate. Okay, so value is determined by the marketplace. So you could say your house is worth $1 million, but if somebody only wants to pay $500,000 for your house, it's not worth $1 million. The value is $500,000. So the marketplace determines the value of anything. So when you say high value man, that means the marketplace determines that man's value. Okay, so it's just the natural order of things has to be put this way. Like, if us as men don't increase our value, eventually things that have no value become extinct. Not saying we'll physically become extinct on the planet, but in our cultures, in our societies, in our neighborhoods, in business, you won't see us. Now, I want to be very clear. Like, my goal isn't to devalue the woman or push the woman down. It's to raise men up, ultimately, right? But we got to know how to do it. And I hear the word so much, but I never hear the definition of what's a high value man, or how can I become one? Am I born a high value man? Like, if I ain't 6'2" with, 100,000 in the bank, am I still a high value man? I don't know, right? But my goal is to educate people, coach them, train them up to get to the point to where, like, no matter where you started at, we can get you to the category of being a high value man. Your community, the marketplace will determine you a high value man.
Okay. So is there anything else that you would like them to know before this video ends? Before you jump into the waters and really start dropping that heat? Is there anything you want them to know?
That's a great question. I would just say 1000% it's needed. No matter where you are, no matter how highly you think of yourself, right? It's always room for improvement. Like, you can always grow and get better. Some people may watch this and say, "Oh, well, I'm straight. Like, well, I'm good." Like, you can always get better. That's the message. Like, you can always get better. And like I said, you don't have to be sick to get better. You can always work on something. Whether it's, hey, listen, I need to be more emotionally intelligent. How do I do that? Let's talk about it. Or let's say, you know what, my physique isn't, or I got the dad bod going on. I promise you, that dad bod turned into a 6-pack. I promise you, your value increases in the marketplace. And here's the thing, last thing I want to say, glad you asked that question, is the reason being a high value man is important is because the higher your value, the better opportunities you attract. Law of attraction, right? The higher your value increases, the opportunities will increase as well too that come to you. And I say opportunities as in anything. It could be business opportunities. It could be if you're looking to attract a female to you. If you're a higher value man, you're going to attract a woman of higher value as well too. Or people bring certain business opportunities to you if your value increases. So again, physically, let's talk about it, man. If you got a dad bod, let's turn it into a 6-pack. Or if you got something way worse than a dad bod, let's work on getting it to at least a dad bod status, right? And then keep taking baby steps. Or let's talk about from a social aspect, right? If you increase your social status, whether in the real world or in our digital world, right? They both have value. Having the right people around you, that adds value to you, okay? We hear it all the time. Like, you are the people you hang around. Like, your environment determines who you are and who you become. So number one, let's make sure we get the right people around us. And even in the digital space, like somebody who has 1 million followers versus somebody who has 1,000 followers, who's more valuable in terms of who's going to attract better opportunities, who's going to attract more money, who's going to attract, more women, whatever you want to kind of, I'm going to say opportunities. I like opportunities better because some men got a woman. But if you don't have one, let's call it an opportunity. A woman's an opportunity too. You can fumble the bag or you can secure it. It's an opportunity. And financial, of course, right? Who's more valuable? A man who's walking around with $500,000 in the bank, or a man who is working at McDonald's? Right? Easy. It's a simple one, right? The man who has $500,000 in the bank is more valuable than the person working at McDonald's in terms of the marketplace. I'm not getting, no emotions. These are facts. It's like, this is a fact. All right. So no matter how you feel about yourself, McDonald's worker, not knocking you down. I'm just saying you can increase your value if your financial status increases as well. All right. Now on those first three, the physical, the social, and the financial, those are things other people can see. So that's the external stuff. Now, the other three pillars that I talk about is the things people can't see. It's the self-work you got to do. It's that inside stuff that still increases your value. People won't see it right offhand. That's the internal stuff. So the internal stuff is spiritually. How we doing that? Like, how high is your spiritual intelligence, your spiritual quotient? How connected to your creator are you? All right. The second internal pillar is your mental, like, intelligence. All right. The person who is like super wise and super smart is more valuable than somebody who, barely put together sentences, can't read or write. That's just a fact. Right? You can have better conversations. People want to be around you because you are smarter. You have more knowledge. So that's an aspect of it too. And the last internal pillar is the emotional part. That's the part a lot of men, we don't learn it as men as much because sometimes we're raised in households to where we just want to talk certain things. So you got to learn this stuff as you go. We don't know how to process our emotions. So yeah, you can be 6 feet, have a six pack, and have six figures. But if you're emotionally unstable, your value is going down. If you're coming home screaming at your old lady and slapping your kids because you're angry about something else, you can't process your own emotions, or somebody's at a bar and you can easily get into a fight because somebody, step on your tennis shoe, like, that lowers your value because now you're a liability. I can't go out with you because you're so emotionally unstable. All right. So to sum up all that's all those components create a high value man. That's what I'll say. Does that make sense?
It does. It's beautiful. I can't wait to hear more.
I love that. And then, hey, listen, so that's it. So that's the journey we're on. I hope you're down for the journey. Buckle up. It's going to be brick by brick. It's not a get rich quick mechanism. All right. We're not going to increase your value overnight. These are building blocks. It's going to be step by step by step by step. But if you're down for the journey, I'm here. I'm going to be here every single day. You're going to see me every single day. My mission is to help every man, but only if you want to be helped. That's the first part. So if you're down for the journey, it's not something where I'm pulling you. It's like we're pushing this thing together. Like, we're building a community of like-minded men going in the same direction. Because ultimately, iron sharpens iron. That's what I want to do. All right. So listen, that's the video. Let's check out the next one. I'll see you on the next one, actually. Adam P. Larkins, please say the P, baby.